Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm trying on all the products that I recently picked up from the Sephora sale. I was really excited about this haul because I treated myself to some luxury products, including some fun lip products and a blush that I've been eyeing for a while. So I'm going to take you through a full face and give you my first impressions on each of the formulas. And at the end, I'll insert a wear test clip as well, just so you can see how everything looked by the end of the day. So we're gonna start with skincare right now. I just washed my face quickly with a super gentle cleanser, and it's feeling pretty dry. With the weather getting drier, I need more like hydration. I'm also developing this like deep pimple in the middle of my eyebrows, which is such an unfortunate place to get a big pimple, but it happens sometimes. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna go in with this Kiehl's Truly Targeted Acne Clearing Solution. I received this from the brand a couple of weeks ago. I'm just gonna dab a little bit on that spot. This has 2% salicylic acid, so kind of in the beginning stages of a pimple, it can help to kind of dissolve the oil plug and the sebum and buildup that's in the infected pore. We'll see how much that helps. I'm just gonna pat it in, blend out the edges, and let it dry. I also have a little spot right there. I'm just gonna put it on so it makes like a protective layer on top of the spot. There's no smell, like it doesn't smell like alcohol, which is a pet peeve of mine in skincare products. While that dries a little bit, I'm gonna go in with the first product I'm opening. It's the Laneige Divine Lip Duo Set. I'm gonna take this balm. I've never used this formula before. I have emptied a full one of this and I'm using the mango one right now. This one I'm gonna save for Calvin's sister who's coming over later today. So this is gonna be for her. And I'm gonna go in with this. It's in the shade Berry. It feels really nice. It was very pleasant to apply. I like the faint berry scent. It's a little bit thinner in consistency compared to the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. A nice product to have in your bag to reapply throughout the day for sure. Okay, next with skincare, I just want to do a quick hydrating layer. I'm gonna use the Haru Wonder Black Rice Hyaluronic Toner. This is actually my first time using this product. I love their cleansers. I did a whole video about them if you want to check it out. And I have their sunscreen as well, which I just started using. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that one yet. And this is my first time using this product. Ooh, it's kind of like a viscous essence texture. It's a little bit more viscous than water. And especially if I'm doing a full face of makeup, I love to make sure my skin is well hydrated and super plump. I like that it has no scent. I barely feel any tackiness or like slipperiness at all. A nice kind of splash of hydration. Now I'm gonna use a light gel moisturizer, but one that has a bit of active ingredients to even out my skin tone and help with little imperfections. So when I have little breakouts going on or my skin feels dull, I like to go in with this. It's the SkinCeuticals Phyto A+ Brightening Treatment, and as you can see, I'm almost done. And I'm gonna film like a full empties video of pretty much everything I emptied this year. I'm gonna film that later in November to encompass like all the products that I'm likely gonna finish this month as well. This is one of them. I love this product. It's probably the only skincare product over $100 that I would happily repurchase because it just agrees with my skin really well. I find each time I use it, I notice a visible difference in my skin. It just like the texture, it helps with clogged pores a little bit. My skin seems to really like azelaic acid. I'm gonna go in with a layer of sunscreen. This is the Skin 1004 Sun Serum. Almost out of this as well. I really like it because it's so thin and wears well under makeup. It's also quite soothing and it doesn't irritate my skin or clog my pores, so it's just an easy everyday sunscreen that I gravitate towards. Starting with the base product, I didn't purchase a full base product, but I got 2 samples of complexion products that I wanted to try. The Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation, and I get 4 shades, so let's see. So 1N14 is the lightest shade they have here. This one's supposed to give you a blurring effect, medium to full coverage, natural looking, undetectable finish. This one I'm really excited about. It's the Beauty Blender Skin Tint, And I was gonna purchase a full size of this, and then I realized that they had a sample, so I figured let me just try the sample, and if I really love it, I will pick it up just before the Sephora sale ends. This one gives me 8 different shades, and light 2 is the shade that I was eyeing and the one I was gonna purchase. And I don't know if there's enough in here that I can actually do a full application with it. Definitely not. I don't know if you can see this, but there's like barely any product in here. So this is kind of all I can get on my finger, and there's just a little bit left over. While I have it on my finger, I'll just make sure that this is the right shade for me. And just putting it on my jawline, I feel like it evened out even just that area of my face really nicely. I think 2 is a good match. So, and this Makeup Forever one, and this one actually does have enough for me to do a full application. It's not quite a good shade match for me. It's definitely a bit too warm and a bit too dark. But yeah, not one to put all over my face. Instead, I'll just go in with the foundation that I've been liking the most these days, and it's the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I have it in the shade 1.5. One pump and a very quick application. Gonna go in with my IT Cosmetics number 7 brush. I received this product from Giorgio Armani, and it has been such a joy to use. So many people love this foundation, and I definitely see why. It dries down to a very natural, soft matte finish on my skin. I can build it up and cover all my acne scars and hyperpigmentation. And my favorite foundation application method is a brush like this and just kind of stippling it on. And this foundation works really well with that method. It doesn't emphasize any dry spots on my face. It kind of smooths everything over. It doesn't cover every little thing, so that spot that's brewing in between my brows, it still looks a little bit red, so I will go in with concealer. But I really like how this product evens out my skin, gives it a soft matte finish. But so far, it's such a foolproof foundation. Yes, it's expensive. I would say it's definitely an investment product if you're looking for a high quality foundation that you can just lean on. If you're very picky with foundations and you just can't find one that you love for one reason or another, and you haven't tried this one yet, I think it's worth a try. Okay, next, going in with concealer. This one I picked up during the sale. It's a repurchase of my favorite concealer, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla. It's always so satisfying opening up a new tube of your favorite product. I'm taking the other end of that brush and just stippling on any areas that need a little bit extra coverage today. And I like doing this instead of putting the doe foot applicator straight on my face, because sometimes if I do have blemishes, I don't want to contaminate the whole product by putting the doe foot directly on a spot. So I always put it on the back of my hand first, and then go in with a brush to pinpoint conceal. And before, I used to think it was a waste of product if I'm just staying home, and you know, I shouldn't use my nice products if I'm not gonna go somewhere special or, you know, see a lot of people. These days, I've adopted the mentality of use your nice things. If you have a product you really like and you're excited about, just use it, even if you're the only person who's gonna see it. So many times I save products for like a special occasion, and then it becomes one of those things that I use like 3 times in the whole year and goes to waste because, you know, makeup does expire. So now if I like something, I will just use it like every day. I don't care if I'm literally just seeing Calvin at home that day. I just use my nice things. And you too are worthy of using your nice products no matter what the day has in store. So the base is looking really nice. I didn't buy any brow products this time because I have plenty that I'm still working my way through. So I'll just use the brow products that I bought most recently from Sephora during one of the sales. So the pencil I'm using today is a Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 3.5. This one has a very fine tip. It's a nice mixture of waxy and pigmented. My left brow always needs a bit more help. I'm developing quite a bald spot like in the middle of my eyebrow, but I find they typically grow back. I just need to be a little bit patient. I'm gonna just comb through very lightly with my Merit brow pomade in the shade brown. I love this stuff, and I just find it makes my brows look so much more polished. And whenever I'm having a no makeup day, I will just run this through my brows and I won't even bother with a brow pencil. Let's go in with my face brush and just clean up the edges a little bit if some of the brow pencil got a little bit outside. Okay, now the fun part. I'm gonna go into the luxury products that I got. Very lovely Givenchy Prisme Libre powder. This is a 4-in-1 powder in the shade 2 Saint Blanc. Comes with a little puff and there are 4 kind of shades in there. Top 2 are kind of peachy and pinky, a more light yellow one here, and then kind of a very pale lilac one here. It is a mini size, but I feel like it actually has a decent amount of product. I'm going to tap it into the pan like this, kind of get like a sprinkling of each color in there. I'm gonna try it with this little puff and then I'm gonna try it with the brush. Try to get every shade. It smells very fancy, almost like a very, very faint floral perfume. Just start setting the face. This is the side I just applied the powder. It is so smooth and matte and blurred. Literally everything it said that it would do. It is looking a little bit like flat because it's so matte, but usually what happens with setting powders is like when your natural oils start to peek through and kind of mesh with the makeup, it looks a lot more natural. And you can see this side, much more texture. There's a little bit of shine just from the foundation and its natural finish. Okay, I'm really glad I picked this up. I get a little bit more, and this time I'm just gonna go in with a little face brush. This is the BK Beauty 106. Yeah, I feel like a little bit goes a long way with this powder. I'm really applying this all over just so I can get a sense of how it looks on different parts of my face. My face looks very, very poreless. Very strong first impression on that powder. The packaging isn't the most like luxurious, it is plastic. I don't know if that's what you were expecting. I don't really know if that's what I was expecting. It's just something to note. I'm also very excited to try this Dior Rosy Glow Blush. I got it in the shade Rosewood, which is just a beautiful neutral mid-tone pink. I'm gonna take it on this e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush. It's a little bit dense than I would typically use for a powder blush, but I just want to see like the true pigment. I'm gonna do kind of a heavy swatch on my cheek. It's almost so pretty, I don't want to like ruin the embossing. But there's the pickup on the brush. Like tap off the excess on my hand and you can see just such a pretty pinky color. Do just a little bit more. And even with powder blushes, I do like to just take my foundation brush and blend out the edges just so everything blends in really seamlessly. True to its name, it's such a nice rosy glow. It'll be so nice as we move in to snowy winter weather. It just gives a very nice natural flush to the cheek. Ooh. I really like this shade and I'm so glad I got this rosy shade. I feel like it's such a fun, youthful flush of color on the cheeks while being pretty neutral and not too bright. So for kind of every day. On the scale of like super sheer to like full coverage, super pigmented, I think this falls kind of in the middle. It's not as sheer as I was expecting. Some people said it's like really sheer, like you can't even see it on your cheek. I used kind of a denser brush, so that also changes things. I thought it was just easy to apply without going overboard, so I would say this is also beginner friendly. Could you get a similar look with a much more affordable blush? Absolutely, but is the user experience just like so amazing with this because it's Dior and it makes you just feel really pampered? Absolutely. I'm gonna curl my lashes quickly, and for my eyelids, I'm actually just gonna take this Dior blush as well, and taking a BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A501 brush, I'm just going to lightly, if I just want a really simple monochromatic look, I don't wanna mess around with eyeshadows or I don't have a lot of time, I will just take my cheek color and swipe it on my eyelids. I feel like my skin looks a little bit flat and I just want to add like a little bit of, you know, glow. So I'm going to use this Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancer. This was in the same Pure package as the foundation. This is in the shade 2, and here's the texture there. You can see it's running down my hand. It's kind of a medium gel-like texture. It's a gorgeous like peachy champagne, and I'm just gonna take a little bit on my foundation brush, and I'm just gonna tap it like right there on the high points of my face. But do you see that glow compared to this side? I'm gonna take some on my finger and put it like just in that inner part of my eye. Up close and in person, there's just a little bit of a sheen and a really healthy kind of radiance to the skin. It's time for the lips, my favorite part right now. Wiping off the excess lip balm. My lips do feel very hydrated and plump. I like that lip balm. I have 3 very fun lip products to try today. 2 of the Hourglass Phantom Glossy Balms, and then the Rare Beauty Lip Oil in Honesty, which is like a nude brown shade. Because this stains, I'm gonna save it for last. It feels very luxurious, very nice to hold. Take off the top and it's kind of like a slanted applicator. It's a small applicator, so I think it'll be really easy to apply. It's a twist up, but it looks like you can't twist it back down, so just be careful that you don't twist it too far up. On this side is Sense, and on this side is Slip. Ooh, it's super smooth, very balmy, very emollient. It just melts into a gloss. The shade Sense is indeed the exact like natural nude lip that I was looking for. That's not too dark. It just looks like I have a very even toned lip that is glossy. It looks really healthy and hydrated. It smooths over like every vertical line that I have on my lips. The only thing I'm noticing though is that the applicator, the tip, is getting a little bit messy, like because it just melts into a goo when it touches your skin. There's a bit of excess that's kind of getting on the black part of the tube, but that's not a big deal. I can just be a little bit more careful when I apply it. And after wiping off, it does leave a little bit of a tacky moisture film on your lip. Now going in with the shade Slip. I really like this shade as well. It's a more rosy, a bit deeper, more pronounced on my lip. It looks like I'm wearing a lip color, but it was a little bit messy and hard to apply straight onto my lip. It really melts down quick as you move it across. I had it raised just a little bit higher this time, and I wasn't even pushing down, and it was just like starting to melt all over on my lip and got a little messy, so I had to go in with my finger and just kind of move it around and smooth it along the edges to make sure it was even. So that's the one thing I'll say. It's hard to like get a really even application with the more pigmented shades, because when you try to like smooth it, it just melts like more of the balm into your lip and makes it more concentrated, so you can't really like do this a lot. And once it's on your lip, it feels very much like a lip gloss more than a balm. It's not sticky, it just has like an appropriate amount of tackiness so that it'll stay looking really glossy and juicy. I really like these 2 shades. I'm glad I picked them up because I have been curious for a long time. I'm gonna wipe off the lip. Something to note is that it does not stain your lips. Now I'm gonna use Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oil in the shade Honesty. It's supposed to be a warm nude brown. I really like the shape of the applicator and how it just hugs the lip. Oh my god, I just dropped it. Surprisingly, nothing got on it. It's gonna give it a little wipe in case. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more and really build up the color. Okay, so there's about 2 layers of the lip oil on my lips right now. It went on super smoothly as expected. I really like this formula. I have 4 other shades. If you want to see what those look like on my complexion, I will leave the video somewhere and down below. So glad I picked up the shade because I feel like this is very different from the other 4 that I have. This is a true warm nude brown, something I don't really have in a lip tint right now. I think it's a very wearable brown if you have fair to light skin, because sometimes it can look a little bit too dramatic or too bold, even though it's a neutral color. This one is pretty nicely balanced between like a brick red, a true brown with like a little bit of like a caramelly undertone. Like it just looks really nice, like a candied apple. I'm a big fan and I'm glad I got it. And as you already know, these do stain, so I just wiped it off and there's the stain it leaves behind. The last thing I got from Sephora is this Giorgio Scalp Build Up Detox Spray. It has charcoal and tea tree. I've already used this twice since I got it in the mail. I really like it. It's a very satisfying nozzle. It sprays out like a lot of products, so you can kind of go through very quickly, spray it on your scalp, massage it in, wait like 15 to 20 minutes, and then shampoo as usual. And my scalp has been really irritated these days because I have a bad habit of like scratching at my scalp when I'm like stressed. It's just a bad habit that I'm trying to curb. So the first time I used it, my scalp was particularly aggravated, and I feel like it just really calmed the skin and helped it to kind of recover and heal a lot faster. And my scalp just felt really clean and very balanced, not dried out at all, because it does have 3 different types of acids in here, like chemical exfoliants. And yeah, I'm excited to keep using it and seeing any long-term results. The radiance is definitely showing up on my skin now. It's not so matte and flat. I love this blush combo and I really like this lip tint as well. About 7 hours later, my skin was definitely a little shiny, so I had to blot a little bit, but the blush stayed on really well and the lip tint faded nicely to a nice rosy color. I feel like the blush looked better as the hours went on, so that's a win. So there's the look using my recent haul from Sephora, plus filling in the gaps with some of my nicest complexion products from Giorgio Armani. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the products or your thoughts if you've tried any of these. Like I said, I might go and pick up the Beauty Blender skin tint and maybe 1 or 2 other things that I've kind of been eyeing since I made my first Sephora haul purchase. We'll see. I'm gonna try to be good. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye!